Hi, my name is Emily Crow from Crochet Creations. Welcome to my Crochet and Knit Podcast. So here on this podcast, I like to talk about all things fiber related, things that I've recently finished, other things I'm working on, different designs and other upcoming events that are going on within my little small business, and just all things yarn. On this channel, I also have different process vlogs, studio vlogs, day in the life of a work-at-home mom vlogs. This podcast, I've got some tutorials, all sorts of different videos. So if any of that sounds like something you're interested in, I would love to have you here. So if you're not already, please subscribe and hit the bell notification down below. If you like this type of video, the sit-down podcast, talk about what I'm working on type of videos, definitely let me know by liking this video and commenting down below, so I can continue to make more videos just like this. I'm glad that you're here, and thank you so much if you've been here before, and thank you so much more if this is your first time and you want to stick around. So this is, I think, episode 3 of my podcast. So previously I was doing a little bit of a monthly thing. I did one at the beginning of October, one at the beginning of November, since October was a super crazy month. And I really want to try and do bi-monthly, every other week type of podcast, having one in the middle of the month and one at the beginning of every month, just so that I'm not sharing so much that happens within an entire month. I think it'll be easier for me to prepare on what to share. You'll be able to follow along a little bit better on like my progress, rather than just seeing like a start and a finish, but like seeing the in-between times too, and hopefully make these episodes a little bit shorter since I won't have so much to talk about. That's kind of the plan. I'm filming today. It is November 19th, which is actually my birthday, which is so fun. It's already been a really great day. My husband surprised me. He took work off today without telling me. So when he left for work this morning, he actually left and went and picked up some treats for me and some flowers and some breakfast for us. And so he came home at like 7 and was ready for a day spending time together and watching the baby so that I could have some time to myself, which was so sweet of him, and it honestly made me cry. It was such a great surprise. So I'm enjoying my Coca-Cola that he picked up for me this morning, and it's just been a really good day, spending time doing things that I love with my family, as well as some time to myself, mostly working on crochet creations type stuff, planning, getting some work done, and I'm hoping to spend a lot more time knitting and crocheting later on today. So that's the plan. As far as other news goes, in the last episode I shared about how the Cardamom Wrap, my newest design, was going to be looking for testers soon, and that would be releasing sometime soon. The plan has changed, and that's okay. I decided that since now is not a really great time for finding test crocheters because of the holidays coming up and everyone working on gift making and whatnot, that I would postpone until the new year. That would be a better time for the release to not disappear amidst everything going on for the holidays, and that I could actually get a good group of testers that would be able to help me work on this pattern. So the pattern is already, the product is already, I will show you that later in my finished objects, but I am not doing a testing call right now. That is coming in January, so keep an eye out for that. And I have another pattern coming out soon. I will show you that in my FO section as well. But other than a couple patterns, not much else is going on around here. Oh, one thing, I randomly signed up to participate in a farmer's market as a vendor. We were going shopping one Saturday and just randomly found it across the street from the strip mall we were at, and I went over there, and they welcomed me right in and said, of course you can come. So I talked to the coordinator, and I am going tomorrow. So I haven't really had time to prepare specific market makes for this market, but I had a few bins worth of things already set aside, so I went through that, inventoried, kind of organized a bit for what I'm bringing, and I'm ready to go. We'll see kind of how it goes tomorrow. I'm not really sure what people are interested in, especially we're in California, so it's not super cold out, but I think people still do want winter wear. So we'll kind of gauge the interest and see kind of what people are looking for, and hopefully I can come more prepared the next week for Small Business Saturday. I will be there as well. So it is the Cambrian Plaza Farmers Market in San Jose. I will make sure to put the name up on the screen so that if you are in the area, you can come and say hi, because that would be so fun. And I haven't done a market in so long. Between COVID and moving and having a baby, it's just a lot. This is a little bit less of a time commitment, a little bit more relaxed for me. So I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully it goes well. I'm excited to get back into the market thing, get some of the stock that I do have out of our house and into hands of people who will really enjoy it. Oh, and another thing, speaking of stock that I have and also my birthday, I guess, I am doing my birthday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday type of like combined deal. So in both my Ravelry shop as well as on my Etsy shop, you can get 20% off anything in the shop. So whether that's patterns, but also over on my Etsy, I've got stitch markers, I've got finished goods, anything like that. If you are interested, it's 20% off, no code needed, through the end of November. So you can snag things either for yourself, you can snag things for other people that you love, great handmade gifts. I have lots of things that would make really good stocking stuffers, so make sure to check it out. I'll have my shops linked down below if you're interested. Okay, so I'm super excited to talk about my FOs. When I was preparing this segment and kind of trying to make sure I kept track of everything, I felt like I hadn't finished anything, which was really sad, but I did finish some things, and some things that I'm really proud of that I would love to show you, so I'm so excited. First off, I finished my color palette socks. So these, it uses the pattern by Laura Moorats, or Laurel Knits on Instagram. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, which is awesome. It's got this twisted, or I guess it's half twisted rib because the purl stitches are not twisted, but this twisted rib texture of the main color, breaking up the different segments of color. The main color, the gray I use, is Elephant by Emma's Yarn. The minis that I used were the variegated minis from the Coco collection by Treehouse Knits. I love these colors, and I love this fade that it naturally came up with. I only put one of my socks on the blocker. I've since worn them, so they're a little bit loose on the blocker. I'll definitely insert a couple of pictures of myself wearing them and them looking fresh on the blocker and not loose. But yeah, I love these, and I wish that I had snagged some more yarn from her second version update of this pre-order. She did one pre-order, I think, during the summer, and then one on October 31st. Missed the second one, but there are some colors I totally would have snagged. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I probably still have enough of the minis to make more fade socks. Heck, I could probably do this pattern again. It did not use very much of the minis, so it was a really great stash buster, and I can use the minis for something else. I'm really happy that I finished these just a few days after the last podcast that I did. So I'm really happy about these. I've been wearing them. They're so pretty. They're really funky compared to other socks that I made, but I'm really happy with how they turned out. I'll show you. My favorite colors are probably this purple one. That's Eternal Life. This one with all the warm colors is called Ofrenda. And then this one with like brownie, beigey, pinky tones is called Remember Me. So I think those are my three top favorites for the colors in this grouping. So yeah, that's my first finished object. I had one done last time. I was trying frantically to finish the other one in time for Dia de los Muertos, but I wasn't able to do it. But I finished within a few days after that, and I finished the second one. So now I've got my socks, yay! And then I have a couple designs that I worked on. This is my Cardamom Wrap. This worked up so fast. I don't think I even started for my last podcast. I think I did it in like 4 days, 5 days maybe. And what helped is that I already had my plan with stitches, how many rows of each color. I already had all my yarn. Everything was prepared, so I was really just like waiting for having not as much on my plate that I could hunker down and do that. And I also filmed a process vlog working on this from inspiration and conception all the way down through I started taking photos for it and I'm getting ready for a test and call. And then I changed my mind, decided that the test and call now is just not a good time for it. So that process vlog will go up when I am redoing the test and call in January so that people can see kind of where this design came from. And I hope that will be really interesting for you guys to see. And I'll also do a second part of that video doing the testing and the editing of the draft and publishing the pattern as like a part 2, so you can kind of see the whole process from very start to very finish of this pattern. But anyway, this is my wrap. It's a blanket scarf size, so it's a little skinnier, but it's nice and long. I made it from Rowan Alpaca Classic, which is a DK weight yarn. It is, let me see if you can see it a little bit when I show you up close. It's like like a cotton tube with alpaca blown into it. So it's got really fuzzy, but it's also got some interesting structure. Yeah, it's got a really good color palette. I wanted to do mostly neutrals with some pop of color. And yeah, I can't get it all on the screen at the same time. I'll definitely include some photos of it styled a little bit. I definitely want to take more photos to show the true versatility of this piece. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it brings me a lot of joy, and I'll definitely be wearing this as the weather cools down. It's super lightweight because it's cotton and alpaca, and so it's really easy to just throw on, whether you want to just style it for fun, just to look cute, or it can be super warm because of the alpaca, so it can get nice and cozy for the cold weather. So I'll probably take this with me to Utah for Christmas, get some good use out of it there too. I love this piece, and I really hope you guys love it too. It's been hard. It's sometimes hard designing things and trying to find what other people will enjoy making and not just what I want to make. I think it's a good balance to try to find the happy medium where I am happy with what I make and you are happy with what I make. And sometimes it feels unfulfilling when things I want to make aren't what other people want to make at the time. So I really hope that this does well, but I am super happy with this design, and it's been really fun to share in a vlog format with you guys too, and so I hope you guys enjoy that video when that comes out. But yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to work on that and get it done so fast. And then another design that I have is called the Feeling Pine Dishcloth. So I used mostly the dimensions from my Life is Gourd dishcloth that has little pumpkin puff stitches as a texture, but this, okay, it's an FO, but I have all my ends to weave in still. I used some puff stitches, oh, this side is more finished looking, to create some pine trees, which is super cute, super nice little texture. This would make great holiday decor for this time of year. It would make a great hostess gift or part of a hostess gift if you're going to any holiday parties or get-togethers. Super quick make, so I was able to make this little dishcloth using the reverse colors and the big dish towel with 2 skeins of the crew color and then 1 skein of the rosemary, the green. So it's a 3 skein project to make both of these to make this set, so which is so doable. I have testers working on it now. I just took the tutorial photos for it this morning because my husband was able to watch my baby, which was so nice. I could just knock that out. I was worried it would take a few days to get to that, but I was able to do that today. And so the pattern is getting ready. It will be released on December 1st, just in time for the holidays, so you can whip one of these up. Honestly, the hardest part is getting the trees and just knowing where to put the puff stitches since it's not a traditional puff stitch. But I've got a lot of really good tutorial pictures that'll be there. We'll see if I have the time to put together a little video even. The puffs are completed differently, whether it's bottom up or top down. So there's 2 different variations, I guess, of the trees. So we'll see if I get to do a video on that if I have time, but if not, there's some really good photos that I've already taken, and this is a really quick make. Like, once you get past this little bit, it's like super easy and quick, and then you get to the other half where the trees are inverted. And this way, when the dishcloth is hanging, the trees are in the same orientation. So yeah, I love this design. It took some playing around to figure out how I wanted the puff stitches to be, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think you could use this in just a monochrome for a more subtle look, but I do like how it looks with the different color. And it is a fun little stash buster if you have some yarn lying around, some of this cotton yarn. But there's like a peaches and cream brand, and there's like a lily sugar and cream, and I used a combination, just kind of whatever colors I could find. And used just a little scrappy bit of this brown for a little trunk that I embroidered on. So yeah, another design, the Feeling Pine dishcloth, coming December 1st, just in time for the holiday season. Time for some works in progress that I have. I will start with one. I didn't realize this is kind of an FO, finished object. I finished my first Petal Dishcloth by Hazel Schrock. It's bulging a little bit, like it's not laying 100% flat, but honestly the points are all very symmetrical, and I think it looks really good. Honestly, like, I'm really happy with this. This looked better than most of the pictures I was seeing as far as like symmetry, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Just a little cotton dishcloth, kind of mesmerizing to look at. I am making a set of 3 for a lady in my church. She ordered them for a Christmas gift she wants to give, so I have one done. I have 2 more to go. I would love to get these done by the end of November so that I don't have to worry about them, just kind of knock them off my list. But it's the kind of thing where I pull it out and I work for 10 or 20 minutes on it, doing a few petals, and then put it down because I'm bored and want to work on something else. It's not a priority project, so just kind of an in-between. So I finished one, so that's one FO, I guess. And then I'm on the second one. So I have 4 petals done. So you can see I like do petals. It's kind of done in like in short rows almost. Just work back and forth, and then the way that the rows are, the shaping is done by changing the amount of stitches you work each row. So yeah, you do like little petals going all the way around. And then you just seam up the edges when you get all 12 petals. So yeah, it's a free pattern. I found it on Ravelry, though it's not offered on Ravelry. You have to find the link to the actual pattern, and it's in like the web archive because I guess the website's not active anymore. I don't really understand it, but I'll link down below because it was actually kind of hard for me to find the link, so I will share that knowledge with you if you would like to make this Petal Dishcloth. I saw it looked pretty popular actually. It was really easy to find out which pattern it was when I just searched like pointy star dishcloth or whatever based on the picture that this lady at my church sent me. So it was pretty easy to find. It seems like a pretty popular free pattern. So if you want something that's not a square, it's kind of fun to work on. Yeah. I don't know if I'll make more. I was thinking I might actually make some in red. This is like a terracotta orange color. It's Cascade Nifty cotton. My lighting is not great, but I was getting blown out if I had my blinds open to get more natural light in. So we got the orange glow of the indoor light. But I have a bright red color that might be really good for like a poinsettia. So I was thinking making this in red. It's kind of like a poinsettia, right? Right? And my mother-in-law loves poinsettias. So I figured that might be a fun little like add-on gift to make her for Christmas. So I might do that. But we'll see. No pressure. Just kind of working on it whenever I feel like pulling it out for a few minutes. Not a big thing. But then, other progress. I'll share some other things I've shown you before. So, my autumn doodle cowl. I wanted to participate in the cowl. My eyes were too big for my needles, and I had too much going on in October, so I was not able to, really. I was not very far. And color work is I'm still pretty new at color work, so I'm kind of slow at it for knitting. This is a knitting pattern by Pacific Knit Co. It's okay. That happens sometimes, but I have been making some progress, slowly but surely. And what really has been helping is just sitting down and making sure I work on it some every night. And there was like a week or so I didn't work on it, but I've been able to get some good chunks of it done. So I was maybe like halfway through the leaves last time I showed you, so I've gotten a few inches in, which is awesome. I need to start using progress keepers to show you guys the progress. But I finished the leaves. I've got a little bit of a design right here. The brown tweed that I picked is like not the best for contrasting with with this red down here or with the purple. I tried it again up here and it's not working great, unfortunately. It's not the best combination, but it is what it is. And then I barely finished the coffee mugs, and then I'm doing like a little detailing up above it. So I'm almost done with this chart. I've just got like 2 or 3 more rows. Then I can move on to the next. My cowl is maybe 8 inches long, maybe? I don't know. But the goal is 12 to 16 inches, I think, the designer said. So I'm like maybe halfway or so through with this portion. And then I need to do more of this dot grid in order to be like the back of the cowl to loop it together. So that'll actually be pretty quick and mindless when I get to that part. So I'm really hoping to get through the graphs in not too long. I would love to finish by the end of November, but I'm not quite sure if I can do that. And I'm just letting it go. I want to work on this now because it's autumn, but probably as soon as December 1st hits, I will hibernate this because it won't be as important. So I would love to finish it before then, but we'll see. I won't stress about it. As Stephen West said, about his string it along, but I think it's a good mantra. Say yes, don't stress. It's okay if I don't get this done. I will still love it and I'll still wear it when I want to wear it. So yeah, that is that. I'm happy with how it's turning out overall, even though the brown is not giving me exactly what I'm wanting as far as like the like contrast, I guess. The yarn I'm using is all Knitpicks. I'm using their City Tweed in Tarantella, which is that brown with the tweedy bits. And then the gray, purple, and the red are all Swish Decay. So I've got Garnet Heather, Amethyst Heather, and Squirrel Heather are the 3 colors. So yeah, I should have some left over. I've not used up any of the balls of yarn that I have, so I should have some left over to make even like a hat or, you know, something else. I'll have some stash to work through when this project is done, I think. Then socks, more socks. So I had talked about the Folklore sock by Fox and Folk. That I had done one for a test, realized that actually it was perfect Christmas colors for socks, and so I decided that these would be my daughter's Christmas socks. And so that sounds like it's not really like a time-sensitive project either, but I need to use my magic loop needles for other sock projects, for other parts of socks. I'm getting near the toe on one sock that I'm working on, and so I need to clear my magic loop needles. So I've been working more on this pattern than I thought I would, just because I want to be done with this needle and move on. But I'm actually pretty far. I finished the gusset. Oh wow, where was that last time? I should mark where I was last time, but I think I was either on the cuff or like just past the color work. I was up here, so I've done quite a bit, and it hasn't really taken long because it's such a baby sock. It's just the toddler size. But yeah, I may be like 5 or 6 rows past the gusset decreases, and so not too much longer, and then I will decrease for the toe, and it'll be done. So I'm really excited about that. I'll have that done soon. I wasn't originally planning on it, but I think I'm going to try to make my husband some Christmas socks too. I've got some green yarn from a Sewrella Oopsie sale that I think would look really good. He liked the last pair of socks I made him, just a couple little tweaks. I did those toe up, and I think my bind off was a little too tight, and so I'm actually going to try doing cuff down socks for him now that I know more like how big of a leg he wants, and also like how long of a foot he wants to. Since I know a little bit more about that, shaping wise for him, I think I'm going to make him some cuff down socks for Christmas, and we shall see. They shouldn't take too long, but I'll probably wait too long to start them, and then it'll be a mad rush right before Christmas to get them done by Christmas Eve. So yeah, my whole family will have Christmas socks is the hope. Thank goodness I only have 2 people in my family besides myself. The other socks that I have that I need the magic loop needles for are my Taylor Swift vanilla socks. So this is Sewrella yarn from her Taylor Swift collection. This was a sock set in All Too Well is this variegated color, and then Folklore is the contrast, and oh my gosh, I love this yarn so much. The variation in like the purples and pinks and magentas and mauve and rose and like all those colors, it is so pretty, almost micro striping, but it is so pretty to see this work up. This color is so moody and emotional, and oh my gosh, Taylor Swift's 10-minute All Too Well, like I can't even. When it came out, I listened to it like 4 times in a row. I like couldn't stop listening to it like throughout the next week. Every time I worked on the sock, I would pull it up to listen to. Like, oof. There's some lyrics of that song that have always really hit me in the feels. Oof. I can't even like put words into it. And then when she introduced more lyrics that like all of the new lyrics she introduced in this 10-minute version of the song gave me the same chills and like hit me in the feels right where her previous song had before. And oh man, what a story she's telling with her music. We stand Taylor Swift. Focusing back in, since I'm like going off into like daydream land, just like thinking about that song. Anyway, so love this colorway, love that song, so I had to get it. Was working on it. My like pipe dream was to have this done in time for that song release. It's fine that it's not, but it was fun to work on it while I've been listening to it a little bit. And I'm halfway through the foot on the first sock. And so when I get to the toe, I'll need the magic loop needles. So that's why I put this one down, and I'm working on my Folklore socks for my daughter Georgia. And what's special about this sock is I'm not following a pattern. Oh my gosh. Not just like, because vanilla socks are kind of like a vague, you know, you kind of have your own recipe of how you want your sock to be. But these socks, I'm literally not using like even a recipe. Like, I'm just doing it for my brain. I'm like, I want to do 2x2 cuff. I know that I am a 64 stitch sock, so I just did it. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this many rows on the leg, based on a couple other socks I've made. And like, I am getting comfortable enough making socks that I didn't have to look for a pattern in order to know how to do a heel flap and gusset. Like, oh my gosh, like that makes me so happy that I'm learning and starting to feel more comfortable with making socks. I don't feel like I have to have the pattern as a crutch anymore to make sure that I do it right, but I feel like unintimidated by moving on to the next portion of my sock. It's not like I work on the leg and then I'm like, I'm at the heel, like, gotta put this down. I'll come back to that another day. I'm just like, okay, like, moving on, like, I can do this, which is so liberating and so exciting. And I feel like I can knit my sock a lot faster now that I don't have to worry about that. So that makes me really happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to being able to wear these socks too. It'll be a little bit, these are my November pair of socks I wanted to work on. A November pair of socks I wanted to work on, I should say. So yeah, I'll do a contrast toe and cuff because I wasn't sure if I could swing heels also with a mini. And so if I have any left over for that, it'll be great for like scrappy socks or like color work in socks or something. But yeah, this makes me so happy, and I'm so excited to see this pair come together, and that this is like coming just from my brain, not from a piece of paper. Makes me so proud of myself for how far I've come this year in my knitting journey, my great sock knitting journey. So yeah, I think that's all of my whips. Those are really what I've been working on. I mean, a couple of finished projects have been kind of a focus. Just so you know, I've been splitting this video up into little bits so that it's easier to load from my phone, where I'm taking my video onto my computer. Make it a little easier. It's not like one big 40-minute chunk. So I'm doing like little sections. Hence the little bit lack of continuity there, but we'll see if this helps with the editing and uploading and all that stuff, so that I'm still learning all the podcasting things and kind of what works best for me. My husband got me a little microphone that attaches to my phone, and so we'll see if that improves the audio too, which makes me really excited. And yeah, we're just kind of trying something new, trying to get better every day that we do this. So I'm happy if you guys decide to stick around. But let's talk about some new yarn that I have acquired and has come into my life. Some new goodies. I've been spoiling myself. There's been lots of really pretty things, and that's okay. All things that are bringing me joy. Lots of things on pre-order, a couple things in the mail that are coming my way. And so I think next podcast, then over the next couple podcasts, you will see some beautiful things that I've ordered. But I have a couple things that I've recently acquired since my last podcast episode that I would love to share. One thing came in last night. Natalie from Love and Stitches and is doing a collaboration with Sockmas. So there's a sock making knit along going on starting, I think, Black Friday, maybe right after Thanksgiving, and going on for 3 weeks. And she is working with a couple dyers, and I think there's even a Progress Keeper maker, and also the Graceful Tangle. Amy Kate is working on patterns right now, so they're doing this little collaboration for this knit along. And one of the dyers had some beautiful yarn that I decided to snag, trying something new. It's Ruby and Rose's yarn, so this is called Castle by Day sock set colorway, but I got the rose gold version, so it's got some sparkle. Man, from my angle, I feel like I'm seeing lots, but I feel like from your angle, you're not seeing any sparkle. No. There's a little bit. Oh, there's some sparkle. Okay, so yeah, there's some stellina in here. It's an 80% merino, 15% nylon, 5% gold stellina. So it's a very different base than I've ever worked with before for socks. It comes with these super cute little minis. I love these colors a lot. And I really like, this is almost like an all over speckle type of a look. So a little bit different than what I am used to. I just couldn't stop thinking about this colorway. And it's so fun. So it's modeled after Disneyland. Castle by Day. I guess around Christmas time, the way that they decorate by day and by night is very distinctive, and so this is inspired by that. So I will probably try to work on this during Sockmas, since that's what it's for. But I have other Christmas socks on the brain too, so we shall see. But hopefully I get to work on these pretty soon. So cute. I'm not sure what should be heels, toes versus cuffs, all that stuff, or if I should try to use a combination of these two minis in all places. I don't really know. I guess I could do cuff in one color and heels and toes in another, or some kind of a mixture. I don't really know. So let me know what you think as far as this mauve and this cream color, where they should go on my sock. So fun. So that came in the mail just yesterday. Yay! And then, okay, I said it was my birthday today. My mom got me a gift card to my local yarn store, a very generous gift card, which is so kind of her, and we love sharing our love for yarn together. She came and visited that local yarn store. It's called Fillory Yarn in San Jose, and we went together when they came and visited a few months ago, and so it's just fun. I have that little memory of us together, and then I'll be able to think of that too when I find some goodies there. I think I might go either tonight or I might go tomorrow. I spend a little bit of time to myself for my birthday weekend, and go peruse and see if any yarn catches my eye. And so that's some yarn that's coming too. So my mom got me that, and then I had a friend that actually got me some yarn too, which is so nice. I don't know if anyone has ever gotten me yarn other than my mom, which is like so touching. So yeah, my friend Kelly, so nice of her. And she got me this beautiful yarn. It's by Loops and Threads, and I've not tried this one before. Cozy Wool Merino. It's in this beautiful like mauve-y color. You can tell like I'm in a mauve-y mood. Like this actually is beautiful. The color's called burgundy, but it's definitely got more purple than red in it. It's really hard to see with the like yellow lighting in my room. Sorry. But it's a really beautiful color. It's a DK weight, 55% superwash merino, 45% anti-pilling acrylic. So it's a good mix of both acrylic and wool. So I'm not sure what I would make with this, but it's 150 grams, 410 yards. So it's a good size. I could totally make some good accessories, like maybe mitts and gloves, scarf. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. The color's beautiful. It's a weight 3 yarn, so I do enjoy working with that weight, and it's a good mix of acrylic and wool. I think will be really useful to have. I'm really excited. I hope I get to make something with it soon so I can show my friend Kelly what I made with the yarn. It's kind of funny. It is pretty similar to this mauve color. This one is a little bit lighter, but I evidently have a color scheme. And then the only other yarn that I've gotten in, this bag is by Benton Handmade, and super cute pattern. I got it a little while ago, but I had to have it. She was doing a little sale. So cute. All the different crafty things. It's got a good pocket on the outside. This is a really great size. It's a little small for like a sweater that's already like it's being made, but it's good for like a shawl or a really small garment overall, but not like unwieldy. So I talked about how I already had this Knitpicks Aloft, which is their mohair. I'm making the Magnolia Bloom sweater by Camilla Vad, and I needed to get the DK weight yarn that I'm holding with the mohair. And so when I last went to my local yarn store, I picked up some Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash in Forest Heather, which I thought would be the perfect match. And it's so perfect. Well, this is my first mohair double-stranded project, so that'll tell you something. So I'm not quite adventurous enough to want to hold like different colors or different shades together. Like I really want to try to have it match because I can envision what this will look like. Really deep emerald green, Christmassy green. So that's what I got. I got some of these, and hopefully I have enough. Playing a little bit of yarn chicken, I think. But if I can't find any more, if they have one more skein in my local yarn store, like if they restock, then I'll probably just grab one more just to be safe. And I think even with dye lots being slightly different, with the mohair on top, I don't think it'll be noticeable if I am tasteful about how I split my skeins. So yeah, this is supposed to be my Christmas sweater. I don't know if it'll be done in time for Christmas because I haven't started it yet because I have other things I'm working on. But I'm hoping to start before December. Yeah, I should gauge swatch it sometime soon, I think. But I have a couple projects I want to finish first. Can I finish a sweater in a month? I don't know if I can, but I will try. And you know what? Going on vacation in December, so I'll bring it with me and hopefully finish it while I'm on vacation, if nothing else. Because some other people will be able to keep track of the baby. But it's made with a pretty loose gauge, so I think it'll work up faster than like a dense fabric. It's a loose gauge. There's some like lacy bits, so we shall see. Taylor Seeking Cozy from Fiber for the People made her own Magnolia Bloom in like this color-ish. Her color Endor, which is really deep green, which is even more beautiful than this. But I was just thinking how I wanted to make a Christmas sweater in like a deep emerald green. or like a black almost green. And then I saw her episode talking about her Magnolia Bloom, and I was like, that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to make that. And so I checked out her website. I don't have it in the budget to buy a sweater's quantity of yarn from her yet, though I would love to try out Fiber for the People. And so I bought Knitpicks and Cascade. So some commercially available yarn, more within my budget for a sweater. I'm excited to see how that works out. So I got that new yarn. And last thing is I got my Scrappy Advent from the Graceful Tangle. So Amy Kate, she was creating this little advent to give to a friend with some of her scraps, and she realized she had so many scraps of yarn that she could share, and so she decided to put them up on her Etsy for a really low cost. She's got stitch markers that she made herself, as well as these little scrap skeins that she's put together, little hanks of 10 grams. And so I bought one of those from her, a more budget-friendly Advent project, since I couldn't swing it in the budget to get an Advent this year. So that'll be really fun to have all sorts of scraps. And it is a 24-day Advent, so we'll start on December 1st. I'm planning on doing a Vlogmas, a pseudo-Vlogmas. I don't think I can vlog every day, but I will definitely try to vlog more than once a week. Hopefully get quite a few videos out, and I will share some of those skeins that I open up. And I'm not sure how they'll coordinate together since it is a Scrappy thing, so it's not all the same brand. Okay, so my time is limited because baby girl woke up from her nap and she would like her mama. So my husband's with her right now, but I'll be finishing up. What I was saying is that Amy Kate was using up some scraps of her yarn, so I'm not sure how well the skeins will work together since they're from different companies, different fiber contents. I think they will all be the same fingering weight, maybe, but they could even potentially be different weights of yarn. So not ideal for a scrappy project, especially someone like me who likes to be very matchy-matchy and have very much intention with my colors, and I'm not super loose with like my scraps and like how they go. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to work on it every day, but I'll open it every day and I'll see what I have, and then by the end of it I will kind of decide if I want to make something particular from it. Maybe some scrappy socks of some sort, or a scrappy cowl, or maybe I'll just use them as little bits for other like socks and color work and other projects like that. I'm not quite sure what I'll do. I really got it because I want to open up a little Advent gift every day. I don't necessarily have plans to make anything with it on the daily. So that's that. So that actually came in the mail yesterday too, which is so exciting. Like I said, I have other yarn mail coming on the way, and hopefully a trip to my local yarn store right around the corner. And so I should be getting more happy mail within the next couple weeks to share on the next podcast. I'm still trying to think of how I want to attack my stash for 2022, because I do feel like I need to spend less money on yarn since I have plenty of projects in my queue to work on with the yarn I have. But I also don't want to limit myself from supporting other small businesses. And so just kind of try to find a balance. I think I'm going to try to do a monthly stash busting specific project that either I didn't purchase the yarn for it specifically, or I didn't know what to do with this yarn, and so I found a project that'll go really well with it. A lot of the yarn, probably 95% of the yarn I've purchased within the past 6 months has been very intentional with a specific project in mind that I want to work on, or that I have already started working on. And so I think Attack My Stash 2022 is going to be focused on using up the yarn I'm not sure what to do with, trying to find projects and purposes for that yarn. Since I've gotten to the point with the old bits of my stash yarn, I just don't know what to do with it. Like, I've made all the things I had already intended to make, and now it's just trying to get rid of all the extra stuff that I'm not quite sure what to do with right now. We shall see, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, if you want to tag along, I do a blog post every month talking about the yarn that I have acquired, the yarn I've used up, kind of how my total amount of yarn, how the scale is going, things that I've learned, changes I want to make, my progress on this goal to use up 75% of my yarn stash, and really settle into a more minimal stash of yarn. And a lot of that is going to be using up the old yarn I have that I bought more impulsively because it was on sale, because I liked the fiber, and so I bought all the colors because I was hoping to make things for markets and then they didn't sell well, so I have all this extra yarn to make stock that isn't going to sell. And so really trying to use up that kind of yarn and fill my yarn stash just with the things that bring me joy and that I will be working on in the near future. My stash is definitely transitioning that way, but I still want to get rid of some of that older yarn and put it to good use. Don't let it lay to waste in my stash or in a landfill, but use it purposefully is kind of the goal. So stick around for that. I'll definitely be talking, I'll have a video coming up on my 2022 goals in general as a maker, as well as my Attack My Stash goals in particular. I would love to put together more chatty videos with you guys. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you want to see from me, what kind of videos, as I can kind of hopefully plan my content. I'm getting into a little bit better of a rhythm as far as filming these podcasts go, and hoping to make some time to film some other videos too during nap times, as we're kind of getting to a better routine with my daughter now that we've kind of settled into our apartment a little bit easier. So I'm looking forward to lots of big and exciting things coming. I'm excited to share with you a couple weeks on my progress and kind of how things are going. Definitely share with me down below what you're working on, if any of these projects look familiar to you or are something that piqued your interest that you would like to try too. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me here today for episode 3 of Crochet and Knit Podcast, and I will see you next time. Happy making. Bye.